Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, and it's time for our next Saturday with Stacy YouTube class number 338. This is the next release of Simply Botanical, and that is a die and stamp set. There's only one, a die and stamp set that I release once a month. It is a partnership between Scrapbooking Made Simple and Hero Arts, and it's time. Now, there is so much going on in the world right now, so many uncertainties and what ifs and could be's, and so I'm just glad to be here doing this YouTube because it's the one thing that hasn't changed for me. Hopefully it hasn't changed for you either. As most of you know, the state of California is pretty much shut down. We're pretty much closed. Everywhere is closed except for, well, even restaurants, it's takeout only. But I am in the store every day, just me, and answering your emails and your phone calls as best as I possibly can and continuing to ship orders. So if you have sent us an email, please bear with me. I'm going as fast as I possibly can. I think I've answered all of them, and then a whole new group pops up. And if you've called, then just know if I'm not able to answer the phone, it's because I'm either upstairs in the workroom or I am on the other line answering somebody else's phone call. Just be patient. And like today, right now, I'm up here doing a YouTube class. So anybody calling downstairs, I'm not there. I'm up here. I'm sorry. I just so appreciate all of you and just helping us get right through this. Payroll was made today. Everybody either is picking up their check or we're mailing it to them. So wahoo kachoo, 1 week down. We'll see. Hopefully we'll see how many weeks we can continue on making payroll while we are, for all intents and purposes, just stopped. And by no means are we the only store like this. I know that other online businesses are under the same, the same situation we are, not to mention every retail store basically in California and in states across the country. So let's just have a moment of crafting. Let's have a moment to sit down and breathe and enjoy a little bit. I'm going to be working with things that I think you already have. I'm hoping that you have most of this. I don't know, many of you may already know some of these things, and quite honestly, the YouTubes right now I'm just doing with what I have available to me because I'm not even sure what we can get from manufacturers at this point. We are getting orders in there, absolutely, but certain countries have certain regulations, and in the United States, certain companies are completely closed. So this might be a big refresher for some of you. And again, I pulled things out that I thought you might already have in your stash. Of course, with the exception of the March Simply Botanical, because the only place you can get it is here. It was done in a collaboration with Hero Arts, so you may find something similar to it in your stash, and that would be woohoo. But if you want the Simply Botanical, the only place you can get it is here. So I think I'm gonna start. First things first, before I get to Winter Chicken Dinner, last week there was so much going on. It was such an overwhelming week for me, and this week is better. I think we all are learning to adjust to our new normal, whatever normal that may be. For some of you in the medical field, that new normal is working 24 hours, 7 days a week, and God bless you for doing that. It is so appreciated. For others, the new normal is being home with your kids all day. And maybe this is your quiet time right now. Mr. SMS is home with our kids. They're teenagers. They're 17 and 18, and I think I'm probably the lucky one getting to be here. I get home and he just looks teenagers. Anyway, whole nother discussion. So last week was a bit overwhelming for us, and I forgot to show off a few things that I had received, and I wanted to do that. I have a follower out there. Her name is Dorothy. She is 4 years old. 4 years old. Hi, Dorothy. Are you watching? Because I had promised to show you the card that you had made for me. So here it is. Is that not darling? Dorothy and her mom made this card, and then when you open it up, Dorothy signed it. Okay, if that doesn't make you feel good, to me, that's like, oh, everything. And then they embossed it, handmade with love. So Dorothy, I love your card, and I am so happy you are crafting with your mom, and it's right on my desk. So that's one thing that I got that I wanted to show you. The second thing that I received, which was oh so kind, and it went missing for just a little bit, is from another customer that I've never met, and I probably never will, Rita. Hello, Rita. Are you watching? Because guess what finally arrived? She had been emailing, and we had the person who was responding was saying it's not here, and we checked with the neighbors, or she checked with the neighbors, and it finally showed up. So what did Rita do for me? She made me an apron in SMS colors. Let me, I don't know if I'm all the way back. Let me go, yeah, I'm all the way back. Let me like down just a little bit. So she made me aprons in an SMS color, and she's got SMS right at the top of it. I love the red. And then down by the pockets, you've got you've got options and woohoo kachoo. And then when you get down to the very bottom, we have winner chicken dinner. Is that the cutest thing ever? I don't know if I can go back and how darling is this, right? Love, 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 and I am so glad that it arrived. I know she was worried and what happened to it. It just took a little bit of time to find out where it landed, but thank you so much. Okay, let me tilt back up. Thank you so much for thinking of me. I love it. It's darling. So super cute. Okay, so those are the things I wanted to show you last week that I totally forgot about. And this week we also have winner chicken dinner to do. And let me get my glasses on. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, I'm gonna pull this so I don't get it dirty with today, because I'm working with inks and I'd be terribly upset if I got it dirty. I've got winner chicken dinner. Are you ready to see if it's you or hear if it's you? Okay, our first one is, this is from YouTube 337, which was the Couture Creations stamps. Oh, weren't those stamp and die sets just darling, just the most beautiful for the price. Oh my gosh. And then the pigment inks from Hero Arts, yay. And the sparkly embossing powders. So you'll get some of that product. I can't tell you when, because I don't know how we're shipping right now. Is just I'm doing the best we can. I'm getting out as much as we can every single day. So prizes get to you when prizes get to you. Just hang tight. On Facebook, I just went to giving gift cards. That's easy. Okay, so, and you know what? Okay, so you can win some of this, or if you'd prefer, when you claim your prize and you're happy with a $25 gift card put onto your online account, we'll do that too. I'll give you your choice. Whatever makes your heart happy. We can either send you some of this product and you get it when you get it, or you get a $25 gift card and spend it on whatever makes your heart happy. Okay, our first winner is Cheryl. Cheryl, is it Cheryl Southey or Southey? Cheryl, Southey. So usually when two vowels go a walkin', the first one does the talkin'. So I would think it's Southey. But I don't know, maybe it's Southey. But usually when two vowels go a walkin', the first one does the talkin'. So it should be a hard O, but you know, there's exceptions to every rule. Okay, Cheryl, it doesn't matter. There you are. Is that you? Because if it is, you're a winner chicken dinner. Winner chicken dinner, as my new apron says. But you are not alone. We have a second winner chicken dinner. Our second winner is Lori Werner. Hello, Lori Werner. I got that last name perfect. Hello, Lori. Is that you? Because if it is, you know what? You too are. You're a winner. Chicken dinner. You're a winner. Chicken dinner. Wahoo. Ka-choo. For you. Yes, it doesn't matter what's going on in the world right now. It doesn't matter at all. All that matters is that we are here. We are together. We're going to have a great time. And we did our winner chicken dinner dance. I'll tell you, it's been very lonely downstairs. It truly has. I'm down there all by myself. And when people call and I talk to them, I think I rattle on and on and on because I'm so thrilled to just have somebody to talk to. I am not used to the store being so empty. So if you've called me and I have kept you on the phone for far too long, please accept my most humble apologies. I just appreciated hearing your voice. All right, so winner chicken dinners. How do you claim your prize? Go to scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Look for the link that says winner chicken dinner. You have to send it to the right email address. It has to go, your claiming your prize has to go to the correct email address, and that email address is listed. If you just click winner chicken dinner, it'll give you the directions and the correct email. So claim your prize. Now we're gonna hope that I set up okay today. Usually Elena helps me. Hello Elena, I miss you. Usually Elena helps me and Doris helps me and Claire helps me. Today I had to do it all by myself. So I'm hoping I didn't forget anything. We're gonna see. And if I did, hopefully it's within reach. We're gonna see. All right, you guys. It is good to see you. I'm going to tilt down. We're going to get started for today. I'm going to keep it kind of simple for today and use things that I'm hoping you have in your stash already that maybe you didn't know you could do with. And we're going to elaborate a little bit more on what we did last week, where I took one color of ink and, oh, wait. I took one color of ink. I know I've got one here somewhere. Is that it? Oh, yeah. Here. Haha. I took one color of ink and I colored a whole flower with it. And we used that pigment ink from Hero Arts and the sparkly, glittery embossing powder from Stampendous. So I'm going to do a little bit of this week, only we're going to change it up. And you're going to have to wait and see. And there's a reason we're changing it up. And that has everything to do with the Simply Botanical set for this month, which is a hydrangea. I love hydrangeas. I love daisies. Okay, I'm going to tilt on down. We're going to get started. And I will see you in a little bit. Okay, down we go. Bye. All right. I'm going to zoom on in. Oh, I shouldn't have taken my glasses off. I can't see anything. Down. Zoom. And down just a little bit more. Okay, so here is one of the samples that was made for today's YouTube. Thankfully, Claire and Doris and Elena are making samples from home. Thank you, girls. I so appreciate it. Yay. So I'm going to zoom it in hopefully without it going too blurry and give you a better look. So this is the newest release of Simply Botanical. And the set is right here. It comes with the stamps and the dies. It's a partnership between Hero Arts and Scrapbooking Made Simple, hence the name Simply Botanical. It is at a value price of $14.39 for the set, and it is exclusive to us. So that is how this card was made. You should know these are limited. When they sell out, they sell out. I believe that January is completely gone. I think we have a few left of the February, which was the calla lily. That's the flower I had at my wedding. It was everywhere. And our third month is our hydrangea. So, I don't know if it was Doris. I think it was probably Doris who made this card. This kind of looks like Doris, but it could be Claire. But absolutely beautiful. Oh, there goes the fire trucks. All right, so what are we gonna do today? Well, I think we're gonna start pretty darn simple and play with the stamp set to begin with. And today I'm gonna be working with ombre inks. In fact, I'm gonna use this one, ombre inks from Hero Arts, but I'm also gonna be working with memento inks because I think if you don't have ombre, my guess is that you have memento or something similar to it, a dye-based ink. I'm also gonna be playing with colored pencils. These are not watercolor pencils. They're straight colored pencils. And I'm going to use Gamsol with them. And I'm going to be playing with Hero Arts, their unicorn inks. So the white unicorn ink. You may not have the white. If you don't have the white, there's few things that I think you should have in your crafting arsenal. I think you should have white Hero Arts unicorn ink because it's the best white out there. And if you do any kind of colored pencils, not watercolored pencils, but colored pencils, I really think you need to have a kit of Gamsol with you. If those are the two things that you take away from this YouTube, then I think I've done good. I've done well because those are important things to have. I think to start, we're gonna keep it super simple. Oh, and then of course I completely forgot. What else do we have for this YouTube? Well, my collection of peel-offs has arrived, my words. So I have got a couple different fonts in, each one of them comes in 4 colors at $1.25, and I just did the fonts, and so I've got everyday and I've got handwritten. And like I said, but we'll go over those a little bit later. That's not the, well, they're important, but they're not the most important thing. All right, I think we're gonna start super simple today. And we're gonna start with, boy, decisions. I think I'll start with the pencils because I want to show you how they get used in case you've never seen them, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them. So I've got my stamp press here from Couture Creations. Love it. I'm just using a basic stamp. This is from Stampendous, and I'm going to put my stamp down on my paper, close my block, my stamp press up, press down, pull up, and now it's in place. I want to make sure that my magnets are on there well. Just know that the stamp press is done by hinges on the side, which means you don't have to flip anything or rotate anything if you're using a cling stamp versus a clear stamp. Know that there's no ridges here or here or here at the bottom. So you can have your paper going off the side any way you want. The only place you're going to find a ridge is here. Also, the only way you're able to get the grid to show is to do it in an ink. You need to take a permanent ink. Oh, I don't want to do that with this one. You need to take a permanent ink, which I don't have at the top of my hands, and you need to go over it. So a Stays-On or a Sharpie, and you need to color it. And that way you can see the actual grid or the ruler. It is not possible to do the ruler in 2 colors, to have the ruler maybe in a dark like this on both sides and then light in the middle, because it's a 1 mold piece of plastic. And so Ozzy Andrew did his absolute best, but this is as good as it's going to get for getting that ruler to be visible. Take a black Stays-On or archival ink or black Sharpie and just color it really, really good. And when it dries, it'll be permanent. I used Memento to do that, which will not be permanent. It will come off, but that's okay. So I'm gonna ink this up really quickly with my Memento black ink. This is a dye-based ink, which means it's gonna seep into that paper really lovely. Memento works with Copic markers, actually any alcohol-based marker, because it does not move with water. I'm gonna give a press down and up, and maybe one more press down and up. You don't need to have a gush pad underneath this to make it work. And if I open it up and I missed any spaces, I can just close it right back up and press again. And there it is. That's the beauty of a stamp positioner, of a stamp platform. It just is very, very handy. This one retails for $40 is what Ozzie Andrew brought it out at. We have them for $24.99 on an everyday value. That is the lowest price. We had them a little bit lower than that when they first came out, and now we're at $24.99 every single day, which is a fraction of the price of some of the other stamp presses out there. And it is big. You've got 6 by 8, so you've got a lot of room here. All right, I'm gonna pull this off. I'm gonna take this one off because I'm not gonna need it again. And I am just gonna quickly start with colored pencils just so people can see what they do. I have got my stamped image. I've got my colored pencils. This is not a watercolor pencil. You don't use water with this pencil at all. This is a Tombow colored pencil. And if your box says watercolor pencil, then that's a completely different thing. The thing with colored pencils is that if you color with them, just like a watercolor pencil, they kind of have a crayon-y looking finish. Kind of looks like a crayon. And I want to get rid of that crayon. I want that crayon to melt into a solid color. So how do I do that? You use either mineral spirits or Gamsol. We use a Gamsol kit from Inky Antics, Art Gone Wild and Friends. They are good friends of mine, and they sell a lovely little kit that comes with the Gamsol. It comes with the sharpeners. It comes with stubbies. How do you use this? Well, you're going to use it with one of their stubbies, and this is just compressed paper. That's all it is, compressed paper that makes into a little, almost like a little pencil. And the way you sharpen it is easy peasy. It comes with sandpaper. And when you need to change your color, you just sand off your last color. And you're good to go. Now their Gamsol comes with this little foamy sponge on top, where if you have Gamsol already or mineral spirits, you absolutely could put it in a little bit of a jar, put some cotton in there and dump some in there so you can be tapping your stubby in there. You don't want to pour it out. If I squeeze this, it's going to pour right out. You want to dab into. And you can see that my stubby changed colors because now it's wet. So how's this gonna work? Well, I'm just gonna go in here, and this Gamsol is going to melt this pencil. It's not hot, but it melts the pencil, giving it a much smoother finish than what I started with. See the difference? It's dramatic. So if you've been playing with colored pencils forever, but didn't know about Gamsol, oh my gosh. Or if you love to color, but you can never get those shades just right, you're gonna love this as well. So let me take and color this one real quick. So I'm going to take my colored pencil, and most people think that you would just go in there and color your entire image with your colored pencil. But no, no, no. It's all about negative space. And what is negative space? Negative space is this white area that I'm leaving behind. Maybe I can tilt in just a little bit more. Down maybe just a little bit more. So negative space is this white area that I'm leaving. Can you see I've drawn my red, but I'm leaving all of this white to that petal. Because when I get my Gamsol on there and I start to pull this out, I need room. I need a place for this pencil to go. If I color it all the same color, I'm not leaving any room. Then I go in there and I start to pull it out. And that Gamsol allows me to grab that color and kind of move it where I want it to go. But if I didn't leave that negative space, I would end up with a solid colored petal. And I don't want a solid colored petal. I want something that's got dimension and depth perception. And just like that, I've started to color my petal. Now I can come here and I'm just following the line of the stamp. That's all I'm doing is following the line of the stamp. So I just followed the line of the stamp and then I can pull that out. And again, that negative space is so important, and all negative space is that white space that you're leaving behind, giving that pencil a place to go when it melts. Now, unlike a watercolor pencil, I can go back in right now and add more color. If I want more depth along that line, I can go in and add more color right now and just darken that line up just to give a little bit more depth perception. And just do a very easy blend out. Giving me a much more depth in that. See, now up here, I may want to add more depth to that. So I just take my pencil and go back and trace right where the line is. And then I don't move it out too much. I just kind of blend it a little bit to add a little softness to it, and poof. So if you want to look like you are an expert colorer without actually being one, colored pencils is one of the easiest ways to do it. Can you blend them? Yes, you can. So quickly, I'm going to do this one right here. And I'm going to add some color. So I'm going to do this one right here. And I've put some color on the bottom. And then I'm going to pull it out into that negative space. Stubbies are the best way to do it. I know everybody's got their own little preference, but you do need to add a little bit of pressure to it. Add a little more Gamsol so it blends a little bit nicer. So now I've got a partially red petal right there. But what if I wanted to add yellow? So for my yellow, I'm going to come at the top. And around that top line, I'm going to add my yellow. And that yellow is going to fill in that negative space. And we're going to make a blend. And I'm going to take that yellow right into that red. And I'm going to blend those two together. And just that simple. And it really is that simple. You can be doing this in front of the TV, Netflix, whatever you're watching, and just get a big stamp and practice. It won't take long before you get the concept down and you are moving right along. You can do this, I promise. This is not hard. Kids can do this. This is an awesome little kids craft because they can sit there and color without making a huge mess. Gamsol is your friend when you're using colored pencils. Okay, so that's how we use a colored pencil, just so you know. So when you get there and I pull out the Gamsol and I pull out the colored pencils, you're not questioning, well, why is she doing that? It's important that you see everything, that you understand from the get-go. And I do have to kind of assume that not every one of you out there has ever had a colored pencil before, or you had them but didn't know you could do this with them. They're not just for coloring like this. They're for coloring like that. Okay, so we're gonna move on, and I'm gonna start pretty simple. And this time I am gonna play with the new Simply Botanical. And the set has the hydrangea, it has the stamp for the hydrangea, it has 2 leaves, the stamps for the 2 leaves, it has a stem, and it has 2 sentiments, I'm here for you, and just because. So those are the sentiments that you get. And I'm gonna play with the stamp. Ooh, I can feel it's dirty. I've been playing with it for a while. Okay, so I'm gonna pretend that you only have a certain number color of inks, which is what I did when we did this one. I assumed that not everybody has this huge collection of inks, especially now when we're all trying to budget and be sure everything's gonna be okay. And so when I did this one, I used only 1 color of ink. In fact, I used Bahama Blue. Gave me that light, light, light all the way to the dark, dark, dark. And this was on last week's YouTube. And then you can see the glitter from the Stampendous exclusive glitter kit that they did for me. I'm gonna go on that same theory with this stamp. I'm gonna assume that your arsenal of ink might be a little limited, and that is okay. Most people don't have every color under the sun in ink, which is why we sell the mementos, because the mementos come full size. They come in an absolute full-size pad, absolutely. But maybe you only want to use grape jelly, I don't know, 10 times in a year at the best. Well, the dewdrop sizes are $2.29, so you can afford to have all the fun colors in the small sizes, and then for your full-size pad, your black or your brown or whatever you go to most, then you buy the full-size pad. But that's what I like about these, is that they come small. So I'm gonna play, and I'm gonna assume that you only have a couple colors in your arsenal. All right, so I'm gonna bring out my stamp press, Couture Creations. I'm gonna put my paper on here. I'm gonna put my stamp up here because I'm gonna try and get 2 stamps out of there. And close it up, press, and my stamp is now in place. I'm gonna put my magnets on here a little bit better so that I'm sure they stay. And now I'm gonna ink it up. And I'm gonna ink it up with just 1 color. Let's try the blue. Yeah, okay, let's try the blue. Because I was playing with purple earlier. So let's try the blue. So I'm taking my dewdrop pad and I'm inking it up. And this is going to give me 1 color. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. I can press up. If I didn't get the stamped image that I'm looking for, I can come back down. If I missed anything, maybe I want it a little darker. If you want it darker, you can come back in and put more ink. And because the stamp doesn't move, and because your paper doesn't move, it lines up perfectly. You can continue to go back over and over and over. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I should have probably just left it where it was. Okay, that's okay. We'll figure it out. So I'm going to put this over to the side. And there's my hydrangea. And it looks good. And you can see it's got negative space. See that white space? So you have the opportunity. In fact, I am going to stamp it again. I'm going to stamp it twice on here. You have the opportunity of leaving it just as it is, or one, two, three, A, B, C. I can leave that one lighter, or I can darken it up if I want to add more ink. Up to me. There we go. Okay, so I've got them both here. And now I have the opportunity to color inside. And that's where my colored pencils come into play. So I'm going to take my green and I'm going to go into all of these. I'm just going to color the whole thing. Anywhere I see white, I'm going to add green. And I am not being overly careful about this. I'm just scribbling on my green. Wherever I see white, I'm adding my green. So I want you to see the difference. So any place I'm seeing white, I'm adding my green. And again, I'm just scribbling. I'm not being overly careful. I am absolutely getting in my blue without question. I'm okay with that. Okay, so I've added some green to it. But I don't want that green to look so unfinished. And again, this is where, and I'm going to turn this way. This is where having the Gamsol comes in handy, because I can take that Gamsol and get my stubby wet and go over that green and just softly blend it out. So it doesn't look like it's a crayon or a pencil anymore. It looks like actual ink that you put in there, because the Gamsol is melting the pencil. So right now I've just used one color of ink. And I was able to get two different looks. I can either color in my negative space that's left behind from the stamp, and I did that with my green, or I can leave it just as is, which is what I've done up here. And I'm just going right over my blue and blending that green right into my blue. It doesn't hurt the memento. Memento doesn't move. It's a nice thing about memento is that it does not move. And now, which one do you like better? White or with the added element of the green? Your decision, your call. But not done yet. So this is just a very simple way of doing this. And then I can die cut them out, take my die, and I'm sure I eventually will do that. Find the, I'm going to assume that that's it right there. Yep. Find the little point and die cut out and start making your flowers. But again, this is just a solid color. You only have so many colors. How do you get a varying look when you're using just one color? Well, there's a couple different ways to do that. And the way I want to show you today, let's get another piece of paper. Let's stamp. And I think I'm gonna do it twice again. Left a little blue behind because I didn't clean up after myself, but that's okay. I'll just keep using the blue for now. I'm gonna ink, 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 ink. Now remember last week when I did this, I was able to take my blending brush and blend my colors together. But you can't do that with this stamp because it's got that white space. It's got that negative space that defines out the hydrangea. Oh, I didn't do such a good job in the center. See, not such a good job, but that's okay. I can close it back up, press in the center. Better. That's again the beauty of having a stamp platform. And I didn't carry one for the longest time. I just couldn't get myself to do it. The pricing was really high, and then but when Ozzie Andrew brought this out, I said, okay, I can do this. I feel comfortable with this. It does what it says it's gonna do at a price that is more reasonable. Okay, so got my image. Now I'm gonna stamp one more time, I think. So I'm gonna move this down. And close it up. Just so you have a reference. Let's ink this one up. Now the lighter you ink it, of course, the lighter you ink it, the lighter your impression's going to be. One, two, three, A, B, C. Oh, I did terrible. Horrible. I need to turn it around. Okay. I don't know why turning it around is going to make a difference for me, but oh, better. Okay, better. So you can see I was able to achieve two different colors because I inked once here and I inked twice there. So that is one way of getting two different colors when you are only using one ink pad. I could come back on this one and add another layer of ink and keep layering it until it is darker and darker and darker. Or I could use, I could use my Hero Hues Unicorn ink. So I've got this one right here. It's a little lighter. I'm gonna take my unicorn ink and first thing I'm gonna do is wipe this off and get my blue off. So I'm wiping off my stamp just with a baby wipe. And when I'm done with my baby wipes, I'm not going to use baby wipes because I'm leaving them for the moms who need them for their babies, since baby wipes have become a hot commodity. Will not use once I'm done with my, I probably have 70 left and then I'm done. I'm going to take my Hero Hues ink. This is a pigment-based ink. It is as white as can be for an ink. It's the first time we've ever carried a white ink because it really is white. Why am I using a pigment-based ink? Because a white ink or a metallic ink, those inks tend to only come in pigment because they sit on top. They sit on top of the image as opposed to the dye-based ink that just absorbs right into the paper. Dye-based ink is meant to sink into the paper. This is meant to sit on top, giving you a full coverage. What do I want to do with it? What if I just took a little bit of my ink, my white ink, and I went around my stamp? Some places I get a little bit more, some places I get a little bit less. What if I just went around my stamp? And then I close it up. Okay, I'm going to zoom back just a little bit, just so it's easier to see. And then I close it up. Press, 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 press. Now I've added just a little bit of white ink to my stamped image. giving me some highs and some lows and some variations as opposed to it just being all one color. And then I can take my stubby. In fact, I'm going to do that for the top one too. So I'm going to clean this up and I'm going to do both of them. Hooey, I got black all, oh, you know why I got black all over me? Because I'm touching this. See, it's a good thing I had my apron off. I would have been very upset if I got black ink all over my apron. This is why you don't use a dye-based ink on a non-porous surface. You need to have a solid, or a StazOn or an archival. Okay, so I'm just gonna line this back up and hopefully I get close enough. I'll line that back up in hopes that I get close enough. I'm going to close it back up and I'm going to add some whiting to this one. Just along the edges. Just along the edges, I'm going to add some white ink. And I'm not going to worry about hard lines. Can you see I've got some pretty hard lines there? When I say hard lines, I mean very straight. This is a very straight line. That's a very straight line. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to close it up. Hopefully I'm close. Give a press and pull up. And again, it's softened that color. Not everywhere because I didn't put any of the white in the center. I only used the white on the outside. And if I wanted to soften it up even more, I could. I could add more white. And I'm not going to care about those hard edges. Don't worry about the hard lines. So I've added some more, and let's close it up and press 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Ooh. Okay. So now, can you see where I didn't quite line it up perfectly down here? Can you see that? It's right here. It's not quite lined up perfectly. See that right here along this edge? Not a problem, because I used a pigment-based ink. All I have to do is take my stubby and I can move that ink a little bit and soften it so that line never even exists. It almost looks like you've added a perfect shadow. I can take the same stubby that I was using to do this with my Hero Hues Unicorn ink and soften it up. And I still haven't lost the detail of the negative space that makes up my hydrangea. And then I can come in with my green if I want to, and I can color in all my white space if I want to. And if you're going to use a colored pencil to do this, color all of the white space. Any place you see white. And you can see I'm not being very careful about it. I'm just kind of getting that color in there. And then I would take my stubby with my Gamsol and go in there, and it's not going to hurt the white, it's not going to hurt the blue. It's going to blend that color into it a little bit so it's not so crayon looking. It's just going to soften it. And you've taken one color mixed it with one white ink, and kept going. You can have just one color and achieve multiple colors. And that white ink is just so very helpful. Now, if I wanted to, I'm going to leave it right there. If I really wanted to, I could come back in, even though I've already colored, I could come back in and I could add even more blue. Let's see what we get. Close it back up. Oh, I moved it. Oh, man. What do you think? Try, don't try? Go for it, don't go for it? Maybe just a little bit more this way. It's only paper, right? It is only paper. That's all it is. Boom, it's only paper. Oh yeah, it's a double stamp, but that's okay. It's only paper. Let's grab purple. I could clean it off. Let's grab my baby wipe. Clean it off. Baby wipe it. What else do people use? They use chamois, like for your car. I think L'Enfant even sells a chamois. You can get a chamois for your car and get it wet, and that'll clean your stamp off beautifully. I think that's what I'll probably end up doing. I'm going to turn this around so I can see. Add another piece of paper. Put my magnets on. Magnets are nice because they've got the little tabbies to lift them up. Put that right there. Close it up. 1, 2, 3. Let's do a dark purple. Ink, 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 ink. Oh yeah, that's really dark. Ink, 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 ink. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. I missed a few spots. No big deal. I just go back and press where it was. Ta-da! Bam! Ooh, that looks good. It's upside down for you, but that looks good. Then I can clean my stamp off again. Add my white. Just kind of around on the edges because that's where I like it. You could do the whole stamp if you wanted. Close it up. Ready? 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Can you see the difference? How it's darker in the center and lighter on the tips? But if I wanted to blend those in, again, all I have to do is grab my paper stubby and I can go in and take that white, and anywhere that I see a hard line that's bothering me, I'm just going to blend it in. And then if I wanted to be more dramatic, really, can I be more dramatic? I think my husband would have something to say about that. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. And now I've really darkened it in the center. And maybe I want my outsides to be a little less dark and I want to lighten them up. I could go right back in with my white. I want to get rid of some of the lines that I see. Some of the hard lines. Ooh, I moved it. Well, I'm not going back in now. Okay, so let me take that off. So a big difference. A big difference. One color though. One color, and you were able to achieve that. One color. It really is up to you what you like. I don't think you should feel like just because you don't have a lot of inks, you can't play, because you can totally play. Having a good white ink gives you the opportunity to soften and to lighten any ink that you already have. It gives you that look where you've got the three-dimensional. It gives you that coloring, layering look without actually layering multiple stamps on top of each other. And then I could go in and, I don't know, do we like the green? Well, from my jewelry days, purple and green are peridot and amethyst. And I always love to pair them together. I think the contrast is beautiful. So I'm scribbling, scribbling, scribbling. And again, the white isn't going to be affected by my Gamsol, and my memento isn't going to be affected by my Gamsol. Maybe you like it white. You can just leave it white. Bring this on over. And just smooth that color out. And I am by no means staying in the lines. No, I am totally getting in there and just moving it around, and it gets on the purple, and that's okay. When it's all done, it is beautiful, and you want to color in all of that white. So I was playing earlier. I know you don't need me to color all of this in for you, but I just can't not do it. So pretty. Little Gamsol here and there. So pretty. But I did one earlier where I added a lot of white, and I kept going back on over it with white to lighten it up. And then I didn't know if I liked the blue or if I liked the green. So pretty. And then this one I did with the blue again. Easy to do with just one color ink if you have a really nice white to go with it, because that lets you then layer and soften and blend. And it gives you that tonal, tone-on-tone look that that everything just is smooth and soft and elegant and beautiful, because you haven't used multiple different colors of purples or blues or reds. You've used the same color again and again and again, just toning it down with the white. I don't know, what do you think? I don't know, you tell me. Love them, so pretty. Okay, but what if you happen to have a lot of inks and you just happen to also own the Hero Arts ombre inks? What is an ombre ink? Let me clean this up really quick and I'll show you. Hero Arts makes something called ombre inks. I'm gonna need that, so I'm gonna leave it out so it dries. Ombre inks are an ink pad that has 3 distinct colors into it. Now, I know this one looks like, oh, what happened? It's light here and dark there. That is okay. That is supposed to happen. You have 3 distinct different colors here. So it's like having 3 mini stamp pads, but Hero Arts has coordinated those colors to work perfectly with each other. So here, this one. This is actually called Hydrangea. Can you see how those colors will work beautifully with each other? But then I have this one over here called Meadow. I think this is Meadow. Love Meadow. 3 distinctly different colors. They're not meant to be used individually. They're meant to be used together. Ooh. Look at those colors. They're beautiful. And you're like, well, how does it work if you're supposed to use them together and they move all over and they get into each other? That's the whole point of an ombre ink. It's to give you that dimension and that depth in one stamp pad. So if I were to bring over my lovely hydrangea, and I was to take my ombre hydrangea pad, and I was to just kind of put it on there and kind of walk it back and forth, and just add some ink here and there. I think that's enough. You think that's enough? I don't know. We'll see. If not, I'll stamp again. Put my paper down, put my magnet down. One, two, three, A, B, C. Ooh, can you see the different colors that I was able to achieve with just how many pats did I hit it? 3, 4? So I can come in, move this up, up, up. And with one ink pad, even though it looks yucky, don't worry about it. I promise you, they're meant to blend. And you kind of do a little walk with your pad. Little walk. Do-do-do, do-do-do. Maybe I do a little do-do-do right there. Do-do-do. Sound effects required. Do-do-do. Who knows what we're going to get? Let me move it up just a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, ABC. Okay, different. This one's a little darker, not as light as that one. Probably because I didn't clean it off in between. Let's flip it over. And let's clean it off in between. We'll just use a whole new one, just in case I decide to do something with that one. And again, let's just kind of walk with our ombre, kind of down. I don't know, I probably add too much ink. Oh, I wanted it, well, we'll see how dark it is. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Oh, ooh, I love that one. Ooh, 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 that one makes my heart happy. I love the lightness of it. I do. But what if you say to yourself, oh, okay, I have to save that one. I'm so sorry. What if you say to yourself, let me try and get that light again. Light. A little bit of dark, a little bit of dark, a little bit of walk. Walk. Okay, let's see if I can do the same dark or the same light. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Oh, yay. What if you say, okay, I didn't want it that light. Well, I really wanted it darker. Well, okay, let's go back in. We can add some dark around the edges. Add some dark around the edges, maybe. And close it back up. And 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Ooh, what do we think of that? Yummy. But then you're saying, oh, Stacy, it's too dark. Okay, well, we can play, this bed is too little, what is it? Was it, no, not Little Red Riding, was it Little Red Riding Hood? Oh my gosh. No, Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Of course it is, Goldilocks and the Three Bears. So now this one maybe is a little too dark for you. Not a problem. You don't want to throw it away because it's a perfectly good image, right? Come in. And let's add a little shabby chic to it, maybe. A little of the white to add a little shabbiness to that color. One, two, three, A, B, C. Ooh, okay, this is beautiful. I love it. It just softens it just ever so much. Just adding a little bit of that white over the top, just And then you have to decide, do you want to leave the centers white or do you want to color them? You have options. And again, it all came from a stamp pad that looks like this. Right? Pretty amazing. It's the white that just gives you that extra little oomph of color. Then if I came in here and I added a little bit of blue, And a little bit of blue, and I colored this all in with my blue. And then I took my Gamsol and I colored all of it in. I took my Gamsol and I softened that blue a little bit. And maybe you don't have bling to put in the center of these. If you want those centers to pop out, but you don't have bling, those little tiny dots in the center. Maybe you have something, you don't have bling or pearls, or you don't want to wait for glitter glue to dry. I totally get it. I feel like I should finish coloring this, but I know. But it just doesn't look finished. So if you don't have bling or pearls, use what you have. And if you happen to have the Hero Arts white, you can absolutely go in there grab some of that white and do your dots. And just paint bright white dots where the centers of those flowers are. Because you don't want them blue. And maybe you don't have bling to put in there, or maybe you're not a bling type of girl or guy. You can just paint right over it with your white and have those pop up that way. But you have lots and lots of options. It's not just about having every color under the sun. I mean, that certainly is nice, and I have every color under the sun, but I own a store. You however may have 5 colors or 6 colors or 4 colors, or maybe you really like that purple that I was using. Maybe you really think that these just came out so pretty and you want that one. Okay, it's $2.29. That for most people right now is totally affordable. And then when you pair it, hopefully you have a Hero White, and if not, then pick that one up too. The Hero White will be on sale. That will give you an opportunity to lay color on top of color on top of color using just one color and a white. Okay, so now I got a little bit of pink on my white. What am I gonna do? Well, you have a couple options. You can either, I don't wanna do it. We're gonna cut these out. I don't wanna ruin them. You can either, on the back. Kind of smudge it until the color runs, or you can take a paper towel and get the color off. But it's not going to hurt it, I promise. Even if you stain the pad, you're going to be okay. Just like even if these colors run into each other, you're going to be okay. So now it's up to you to decide what you like. I suppose I should cut one of these for you because, shucks, I have my die cutting machine over here. And they do come with dies. So let me grab my Sizzix Big Shot machine and let me bring it over. And let's cut this one. I've got my Sizzix Big Shot machine. I've got my magnetic platform, which is a nice thing to have. It doesn't come with the machine. You can absolutely use the multi-purpose platform. Just make sure that you've got your sandwich completely closed or all shimmed, all of the shims that it comes with together. You need to use all your shims. Put down my cut plate, put down my paper. Let's figure out where this lines up. Oh, that looks good. It is so quiet in here. I am not used to it being this quiet. Okay, and let's roll it through. It's an open frame die, which means I can stick my fingers through the die It doesn't require you going back and front or a precision base plate. No, it's going to cut out the first time, no problem. And then I've got my first cut of my hydrangea, which then I could take and start to layer right on top. Easy to do because it's got the negative and the positive in that stamp, because it's got the dark edges, which is where the ink stays, and the clear, which is where no ink goes. You've got opportunity to play. It's not a one-dimensional stamp. It's meant to have some depth perception and some color. And again, using the additional white ink gives you that opportunity where you may not have had it before. It just softens everything and just makes it look beautiful. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you really quickly are my new peel-offs. So I brought out, I think I'm going to use these. I brought out 2 different fonts, 6 sentiments in each font for new peel-offs. Now these are kind of hard to see when they're like this. They're kind of hard to see. But when you take your tweezers and you peel off the back, all of a sudden, I'm going to cut this, all of a sudden you can see what you have. So to me, it is easier to see this happy birthday than it is down here. And all you have to do is get rid of your back. Now, what are peel-offs? Peel-offs are a sticker. It's a vinyl sticker. They are very easy to use. They're very hardy. They don't tear easily. You don't have to be overly delicate with them. And they give a feeling of an embossed look without having to do any embossing. I did sentiments because sentiments are so hard to find. And maybe you are not a big stamper and maybe you don't care for your handwriting. Here you've got thinking of you and just a note, all in one. I tried to keep the sizes pretty good so that you can use them for cards and layouts, which is why we have 2 different fonts. I've got handmade by and handmade for, just depending on how you use them. And remember, you don't have to keep them the color that they are. Well, except for the black. The black stay black. But if you take a Bic marker or a Sharpie marker, here's with sympathy, and let's pull the backing off of this one. This one is celebration and celebrate. And these are in white. So you've got celebrate and celebrations. But what say I want to color them? Easy peasy. I just take my Sharpie marker or my Bic marker, any permanent marker. You can use an alcohol ink if you have them. I wouldn't use your nice Copics if I were you. That's just not me. Let's do this one in this color. And let's do it in this color. And you literally just color over the top of them. You color, color, color. You can schmooze it a little bit if you want to blend it a little bit. You color, color, color right over the top. And because this is a permanent marker, it's meant to stay on things that are non-porous, like this vinyl. So color, 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 maybe give a little smoosh, smoosh, smoosh. Wait for it to dry for a second. And then you can take it right off. Now, I'm going to tell you, I got a lot of flack, a lot of flack for putting spit on the back of my sticker in the coronavirus time frame that we are in. I had one nice lady tell me that I was going to kill people in the United States for doing that. So I am going to tell you, and that was the conversation we had, that I am going to kill people in the United States. I cried for a little bit and then I let it go. I'm going to tell you, it is your personal responsibility, if you are going to put spit on the back of your sticker, to then clean your hands. Use some hand sanitizer. Why do I put spit on the back of my sticker or saliva on the back of my sticker? Because see how it's clinging to me? I don't want it to do that when I finally lay it down. I want to have an opportunity to move it. Now, if you don't want to use saliva, you by all means can use a baby wipe. Absolutely. Get your finger wet with a baby wipe and put it on the back. Sure you can. It's up to you. But let's try to maintain some personal responsibility, and please no hate mail for using saliva or spit on the back of my sticker. I promise you, when I finish in here in my room, I will clean my hands and sanitize them. I will not only sing happy birthday 2 or 3 times just to be sure, I promise. And then they're not white anymore. I mean, it's very cool. These are very easy to color. They're just simple. Here's the happy birthday. What if we wanted the happy birthday in the blue? They don't have to stay gold. Ooh, let's do it in the purple. They do not have to stay gold. You can change them to what color makes your heart happy. I don't want people to think, oh, I don't use gold stickers. That's okay. Do you need purple stickers? What color mat are you using on your layouts in your scrapbook? What are you doing in your scrapbook? Do you need sentiments to define? Do you need titles for different pictures? Give this a minute to dry. And then we can peel it off and put it down, and it is no longer gold. So there's the purple on the gold, but let's see the purple on white. Here, let's see this congratulations. So this one I have celebrate. Happy. This is the second font. They're the same words, it just depends upon which font you would like, and I thought one's a little more scripty, handwritten type, and one's a little more traditional. But both are easy to read, which was really important. Give this just a second to dry. And now, again, personal awareness and personal responsibility. Now I've got my purple on my white. So do you prefer that it have a gold hue underneath it or no hue at all underneath it? It's entirely up to you. I have with sympathy. So let's see the blue. I don't want to pull my sticker. No, I took the top. No, I used the top one, I think. Yes, I used the top one. Let's see my blue on my silver. So Staples is still open, and Walmart is still open, and Sam's Club is still open, so you can definitely go and get yourself some of the Sharpies or Bic markers. They're inexpensive. Use your baby wipe or whatever makes your heart happy. I've always just used spit. And I promise I will use hand sanitizer before I leave. Maybe I haven't gotten over her telling me that I was going to kill people. Okay, need to let that one go. All right, see, it's sticking to me because, see, I don't want it to stick to me. I didn't use enough spit. So the blue, that was on silver, that was on white, that was on gold, that was on white. You don't have to keep them the color you buy them. And the nice thing is you can change them one at a time. You don't have to color the whole sheet. No, not necessary. You color it to what you need it at the time you use it. And our value price for these is $1.25 a sheet. So I can't make them any lower than that. That's the price they are. That's my Simply Everyday Low Price. These are Simply Peel-Offs by Scrapbooking Made Simple. And I am excited to have them. They're not too big, they're not too small. And I've just started with six different sayings in each font. So you get the same, well, with sympathy in the everyday font. And then there's with sympathy in the handwritten font. So, all right. Okay, I love them. Love having my own peel-offs because we use sentiments so often, which is why I had Stampendous do that set, the 2 sets for me of the stamp sets with sentiments that you could make. Oh my gosh, because we use them so often and sometimes they're so hard to find and sometimes you need something quick or you're not a stamper. Being that you can color these for $1.25, I think that they should also be in your arsenal. All right, so what did we do today? Well, we played to begin with. We talked about using just one color. Well, first off, we talked about how to use colored pencils with Gamsol. Super important. Colored pencils with Gamsol. And then we talked about coloring. Coloring with one layer of color and then putting a white over the top of it to give you that depth perception that you're looking for, that if you only have one color ink and you only have one white, you can make this go such a very, very long way. You absolutely have options with it. And if you happen to have the ombre inks, play with them. This is a great time to pull them out because the Simply Botanical stamp is not meant to be flat. This is meant to have some depth and some dimension to it. And you get that when you add the different layers of ink to it and the different textures of those inks that come through. And then when you add the color pencil on top of it, it just pops. It pops. And then, of course, if you die cut it and you pop them on top of each other, well, it really does just pop. So you've got tons of options here. And again, I'm hoping that for many of you, you already have some of this in your crafting arsenal. Maybe you didn't know about using a white ink to tone down your inks that you already have. Or maybe you didn't know about Gamsol for colored pencils, or that you can mix Gamsol and ink and colored pencils and a pigment-based ink, and they're all gonna play in the same sandbox together. They're all gonna work well together. You're talking about paper right now. Grab some white paper and go for it. Just go for it and see what you can accomplish with what you have in your stash. Oh, okay. So we've got the Gamsol, we've got the March Simply Botanical. I know I still have a few of the February Simply Botanical left. I will put the Hero Arts White on sale. And we'll put the ombres on sale because maybe you don't have any ombres. I'm thinking most of you have some form of a Memento ink to try it out. This does not move with water, so it is not the same as a Tim Holtz ink. It is not the same as other inks on the market because it does not move, and that's really important. Okay, so we'll put the ombres on sale too. All right, are we good? Okay, let me get to the samples because that's the fun part. So let me get to the samples. All right, So here is Claire, and the peel-off is just a note, and that is not a stamp, that is one of my peel-offs. This is Claire. I'm sure this is Claire, I think. And look at this stunner. This was done by Hero Arts for us. Thank you. I think Kelly did this. Thank you, Kelly. You are so unbelievably talented. That is so beautiful. And then I think maybe Doris did this one. This looks like Doris, and she's got dimension to it, and she's got the two different colors of the hydrangea. This is Doris. Pretty, right? And here, look at how beautiful this is. Oh yeah, and the With Sympathy, that is one of my peel-offs. This is so simple and so elegant and so beautiful. Oh my gosh, and then look at this one. Talk about texture and depth. Look at that, using the multiple colors to achieve, and then embossing over the top of it, heat embossing with clear. That has such depth perception to it, even though it's flat. It doesn't feel flat. Beautiful. It's beautiful. And then all in white. Oh, these make my heart happy. And then a little flip there, and a just because, and then a beautiful hello. Used the paper beautifully. That was like the perfect cut. Is this Claire? No, this is Doris. Hello, Doris. That was a perfect cut for that. She found the perfect background paper. That butterfly moth was already on it. And then I have one from Elena. And Elena, I used the Celebrate sticker. That's a sticker. That's one of mine, Celebrate sticker. And this is Elena. Oh, so pretty. What do we think? It's got a little glitter going on. And then how beautiful is this? Kelly at Hero, she did this one too. So pretty. And I'm here for you. Well, right now I think we're all here for each other. I think that's the best way of saying it. We're all here for each other right now. And then just because. And it's dimensioned and popped and colored. I'm thinking this one's Claire. This looks like a Claire. Beautiful job, Claire. And here, yeah, I think this is Claire too, because Claire does such a great job at layering the flowers. She fills up an entire card. So this is a 5x7 card, as was this. She's able to take up and, make a larger card. Beautiful 5x7. And then last but not least, I used the Congratulations white peel off on the bottom of this to finish this card. Oh, did I put it upside down? I did. Doris. Oh yeah, this is Doris. Doris, it's meant to open this way. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I'll be able to get it off. It's been down there. It's been down there. Okay, like it never happened. Okay, let's just turn it this way. And a little bit of saliva or your baby wipe on the back. Please, again, no hate mail. I really just can't. I can't do it. I just can't. Oh, hey. Poof. Doris, I promise. But I put the congratulations peel off sticker right at the top. All right, you guys. I'm gonna tilt up. Oopsies. And I'm gonna scroll back. Okay, well, we spent an hour and a half today. I hope doing something that you enjoyed. I'm gonna see if I can go back a little further. I hope doing something that you enjoyed. I hope that I showed you something that maybe you didn't already know. And if you did already know it, I hoped it sparked a little creativity in you. Right now, we just need to find our happy space and our happy place. And sometimes that's just sitting and coloring or crafting or scrapbooking or mixed media. And it is okay to allow yourself the time to do that right now. It is okay. I know you've got kids and your spouse and work for some of you and so much on the news, and just take a moment to be. Take a moment to be kind to yourself, because when you take care of yourself, then you're so much better taking care of everybody else. This coming from me, right? You're all going, seriously, Stacy? I'm going to try and take my own advice. Truly, I am. Actually, I do. Every time I come up here and I do a YouTube, that is me taking my time for me. I enjoy this more than you could ever possibly know. This is my time with you. And that is it's just the best. All right, you guys, I will see you next week when I bring you Find It. I have new product from them. Wahoo Kachoo exclusive for us. Hello. Hey, Remco, how you doing? So I will see you next week. Where are you going to find all of this great product? You're going to find it at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. And we are doing our very best I'm doing my very best to keep up with phone calls, emails, and getting product out to you, getting the shipments out. Just bear with us. It's a tough time right now, but you already knew that. All right, you guys, I will see you next week. Bye.